Philadelphia's season-opening win left a lot to be desired. Between poor cornerback play, zero production from Smitty and A.J. Brown, and some lucky drops, the Birds were fortunate to squeak out a win. It sounds like they might get lucky with Jalen Carter, as new tales emerging on SPITGATE should benefit Philadelphia's star defender. Plus, the incredible play from the Eagles' two newest rookies, and the latest injury updates on BBS and Landon Dickerson. Oh, and of course, just how great Jalen Hurts was as Philadelphia. It was ugly, but they're 1-0. I'm Thomas Mott. This is the Thomas Mott Show. Thursday night's season opener was one of the strangest Eagle games I have ever seen. Between Jalen Carter's ejection, that might have been instigated by Dak Prescott, to the 1 hour and 5 minute lightning delay, to A.J. Brown getting one target all night long. Heck, even all the drops really on both sides. This game absolutely had it all. Yet despite the hurdles, Jalen Hurts and company won their 5th straight season opener, and now their 15th straight game that Hurts has both started and finished. So to celebrate the Birds winning and you staying up till 1 a.m., at the end of today's video, we're giving away the Saquon Barkley Jordan Spector art hurdle portrait, so stay tuned to the end to see if you won. Oh, and if you want to win the newest Jordan Spector art piece I'm giving away, how about you drop a like on today's video, leave any comment you want, and be sure to subscribe. This one's happening next week. Okay, of course, we got to start with the now infamous spit heard around the world, as Jalen Carter, before even taking a defensive snap, spit on Dak Prescott, resulting in his immediate ejection and subsequent shredding on social media. Obviously, first off, this clearly hurt the Birds just from a football perspective, as Dallas ran the ball much better than I anticipated. The Birds D-line did not get the same amount of pressure as I expected. Honestly, guys like Uche and Jalix Hunt were close, they weren't bad, but no JC, that 100% hurt the Birds. And I'll mention Dak Prescott possibly instigating, but Jalen Carter, horrible, a terrible look. Not only national TV, but to do that before the game even started and put your defense in a hole the entire game, it's inexcusable, it's embarrassing to watch as an Eagle fan, and he's definitely going to go ahead and get punished. Still, post-game though, he was asked about the whole incident. I thought his answer was honestly the best it possibly could have been.
You know, it was a mistake that happened on my side, and it just won't happen again. You know, I feel bad for just my teammates and the fans out there. You know, I'm doing it for them. You know, I'm doing it for my family also, but the fans, you know, they show the most love. You heard them out there today. Just not being able to start the game, even finish the game, just fucked me up. But we'll get it better. It won't happen again. I can make that promise.
Now, all that being said, as mentioned, Dak Prescott clearly instigated this. I mean, you can see him right here, walk up and spit in Carter's direction and look right at him. He was baiting him into a reaction. That doesn't make Carter's response right, really quite the opposite, but I am by no means buying what Dak Prescott said post-game about him not meaning to spit in Carter's direction.
I probably spit 1,000 times throughout the game. I mean, especially game day, maybe even in general, and something I guess I'm not proud of. But in that case, he was trolling, I guess you could say, trying to mess with Tyler Booker. I was just looking at him. I was right here by the two linemen, and guess I needed to spit, and I wasn't going to spit on my lineman, and I just spit ahead. But I would say he was back there where Jory was in that sense, and he asked, or he goes, "You trying to spit on me?" And at that point, I mean, I felt like he was insulting me. Like I wouldn't spit on somebody. I'm damn sure not trying to spit on you. Like we're about to play a game. I'm wondering why you're trying to mess with the rookie. And so when I stepped through, I actually say the words like, "What the hell would I? Excuse me, but I'm probably even more colorful. What would I need to spit on you for?" And he just spit on me in that moment, and it was more of a surprise than anything. Refs obviously saw it through the flag. I was like, hell yeah, we get 15 yards to start the game off. Didn't realize he was getting ejected. Unfortunate that he did. Hell of a player. Changed our plan and our blocking scheme, as I've told you all right before the week, that we're going to protect against him. So helped in that manner, but I don't wish for anybody to get out of the game. I'm sure he probably regrets that to some extent. I'm pretty sure he knows I didn't try to spit on him or wasn't even aiming to spit on him. So something that's probably going to get a lot of coverage and a lot of attention that feel sorry for him.
Dak Prescott instigating it or not, what matters right now is will he be suspended? Because Philadelphia goes to Arrowhead this coming week, and they're going to need Jalen Carter, as Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurt said after the game.
I'm referring to the team, not just one individual. I have had a conversation with him, and, you know, we're on the same page. And so, you know, I know what type of player he is. Everybody knows what type of player he is, and, you know, it's something that we all can learn from. A wise man will make a mistake and not look back on it and learn from it. An unwise man. So you got to look at those things and be able to take something away from it, and, you know, we will.
Yeah, I'm going to keep all our conversations and all my disciplinary things in-house, but we got to do it. We got to fix it as coaches. we'll address that. We'll go through that, but we got to get better in that scenario because we need that guy on the field. He's a really good player.
For those wondering, the NFL has officially begun to review the incident to see if there will be any possible discipline, but good news here, historically the NFL has only fined players for similar incidents, as Zach Gilbert noted on Twitter saying, quote, T.O. spitting on D'Angelo Hall back in 2006 and Bill Romanowski spitting on J.J. Stokes in 97 resulted in fines, not suspensions. Plus, Jalen Carter basically already served a one-game suspension. He didn't play on Thursday night at all. He missed the entire game. That should probably be punishment enough from the NFL. Historically, again, they do not go ahead and suspend people for spitting. My best guess, though, internally, he obviously will be fined by the NFL, but then Nick Sirianni will likely sit him down maybe for the first drive, maybe the first half next week, but I do not expect Jalen Carter to be suspended at all. It's a bad look, but in the end, he should play next week versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Also, I'm super excited about this update from channel sponsor Grüns because they got something brand new I think you're going to love. Of course, a lot of you guys see me talk about Grüns gummies a ton because I literally love these things, have them every single day because it's not just a prebiotic, it's not just a multivitamin or a greens product, it's all of that really and more packed into one simple packet a day, and they taste fantastic. But this fall, Grüns just dropped their limited edition Groony Smith apple flavor, and honestly, it tastes exactly like you're biting right into a green apple. Of course, with the same full body benefits, but with the flavor of fall in every bite. Oh, and also, these are limited and they will sell out fast, so don't wait. And the formula, as I said, still unmatched. 20 plus vitamins and minerals, 6 times more gut health ingredients than the leading greens powders, biotin, niacinamide for stronger hair, skin, and nails, and functional mushrooms for brain and gut support. I just throw them in my bag because anytime I travel, like Europe earlier this month, there's no powders, no messy bottles, just open, chew, and done. And right now, using the link down below in my description box, or the QR code should be somewhere over here, you'll get up to 52% off your first order of Grüns. Now, these, of course, are year-round. This is their standard ones. You want to try out those. But if you want to try their brand new flavor, these are going to run out very, very quickly, so grab them right now. Either way, you can't go wrong. I love Grüns. You will too. Now, moving on to the actual game, and it was truly a tale of 2.5 halves, as both offenses could not be stopped before the lightning delay, and both offenses could not really move the football after the lightning delay. However, in the end, it was the Super Bowl MVP who was the biggest difference, and the Birds starting 1-0 versus going 0-1. Jalen Hurts was dialed in from the start, marching right down the field on the offense's first 3 drives, finding Dallas Goedert often and more so being extremely efficient throwing the football and then using his legs on non-designed quarterback runs to absolutely shred the Dallas Cowboys. Jalen Hurts has always been extremely elusive in the pocket. He's been a great runner throughout his entire career, but Thursday night's win might have been the best running performance I've ever seen from Jalen Hurts. Not yardage-wise, but the fact that he was keeping his eyes down the football field and then making plays with his legs. If that's the Jalen Hurts we get the rest of the season, plus a little bit better passing to A.J. Brown, more on that in a second, this offense is going to be extremely hard to go ahead and stop.
I thought he played really efficient, and I thought he played really well. And he's a big reason why we won that football game tonight, the game that he played. Again, I know that it will say that we threw for 152 yards. What's going on? Why didn't we throw? But Jalen played really efficient and really good. And from what I saw, and made plays both with his legs, with his mind, and with his arm.
Obviously, neither quarterback threw all over the field, but Jalen was extremely on target and efficient, Sirianni just said, and took his shots when it counted. For instance, finding Jihaad Dotson on this big gainer for 50, which is hopefully an indication of what's to come, as we've heard all training camp long just how improved Dotson has looked heading into year 2.
Well, he ran a great route, showed and had an opportunity to make a play, and I don't know that he even saw the ball, but he did a great job of tracking it very late. Great connection there.
Still, Jihaad Dotson, he is not A.J. Brown or really Devonta Smith. And the big drama that you're going to hear all over the media the next couple of days is the fact that A.J. Brown and Smitty were completely irrelevant in a game against what was supposed to be a pretty bad secondary. Devonta Smith had just 3 catches on 3 targets for 16 yards. Pedestrian by any standard. But really, the main fact is A.J. Brown went basically 3.95 quarters without a single target. Completely unacceptable. Was he still dealing with what was called a training camp hamstring injury? I don't think so. But for as solid as the offense was all night long, Kevin Patullo, the new OC, has got to scheme plays for A.J. Brown no matter what. Like, these plays have got to go to A.J. Because when they finally did throw the ball to number 11, he obviously caught it, made it count, and had a big-time catch to virtually steal the game.
Are they doing anything to take A.J. or Devontae away from you?
I wouldn't say so. I think they were just doing a really good job of matching things in coverage, and there's some things we got to be better at, and great job by him staying patient and in the big moment, right, making a play. most important play of the game in my eyes, and then we're able to get ourselves in a position to convert that third down and wind down the clock. So great play by him.
Still, give credit to the Cowboys defense. New defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus, he had a very good scheme against A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith. It's not all the fact that Jalen wasn't looking his way or Ken Petula wasn't scheming passes to him. That was really, really good cornerback play on all areas for the Dallas Cowboys. Still, though, the sky is not falling despite what social media will tell you, as the Eagles have been preaching contribution over credit all offseason long. They continue to say that in the postgame.
Kind of just happens. Kind of happened throughout the game. Did a really good job in pass game and matching certain concepts. And so great job by them, and obviously have a new defensive coordinator from past over the years. And so he's in the division. It'll be a challenge, going against him for the games and years to come.
When we talk about roles, I tell those guys there's going to be games like this. This is gonna happen. But to be what we want to be, AJ's obviously going to have to be involved more in the offense. But some games go this way, and I get that will be a story and everything like that. But there are games that go this way. You look at Smitty in 2022 against Detroit. AJ has 8 for 155 yards, and then Smitty has 0. And then the next game he has 8 for 175 yards and a touchdown. So that's the way it goes. We just I know this, that A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith and Dallas Goedert are selfless, very selfless, and they want to do everything they can do to win, for the team to win. And they know things go like this sometimes, but they also know that they have to be involved to help the team win. So you love that about them.
By the way, if you want to blame Jalen Hurts for all the passing woes that happened last night, just remember that he hit more receivers than Dak Prescott, had the longest completion of the night, had a higher passer rating and completion percentage, and obviously won the game. FYI, I don't blame Jalen Hurts for any of this, but still, let's find A.J. Brown early and often next week. Moving on, and thankfully, Saquon Barkley is still Saquon Barkley, because despite just 18 carries for mediocre 60 yards, he made plays with his legs and hands all night long. And that was behind a pretty mediocre offensive line performance. I mean, there were not a ton of massive running lanes for Saquon all night long. I know Landon Dickerson got hurt, more on that in a second, but he was still extremely productive. And despite the fact that the offensive line, they didn't pass block well, they didn't run block well, I thought it was a C+ overall performance by the O-line, yet Philadelphia, even with bad cornerback play, bad O-line play, they still found a way to win the game. Now, speaking of C+, and there was an Eagle player who we all did not enjoy watching last night, who actually gave himself a C+ performance, and I don't think you're going to agree. Listen to this.
I give myself a C. Room for improvement, things that I did well, things that I can correct and get better at for the next week. So I'm not going to hang my head or hang it too high or too low at the end of the day, regardless if I play good or I didn't. It's always things that I can find to get better at and do better at. Yeah, I give myself like a C. C's good degrees, but I give because we won, so I give myself a C.
Adoree Jackson's debut was honestly downright terrible, giving up early completions of 32, 26, and 23 yards, plus, of course, a pass interference on CeeDee Lamb. In fact, it seemed like he was benched before halftime for Jacorian Bennett, but then he did return, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Worst of all, though, might have been his effort on this running play to Miles Sanders, because what the heck is he doing right here? Gosh, that is terrible. If not for Zach Bond's effort running down Miles here, that might have been the backbreaker for the Birds. We all knew cornerback 2 was going to be a problem heading into this football game, but if I'm going to be a little bit positive here, that was CeeDee Lamb and that was George Pickens. And so hopefully Adoree Jackson can be better going forward, or Jacorian Bennett. Let me know who you guys want to start going forward. But that should be the best receiving core Philadelphia faces all year long. Doesn't excuse Adoree Jackson. He has a long way to go. But I'm trying to be a little positive because they did win, and I'm hoping that that's the worst version of Adoree Jackson we'll see all season long. On the flip side, staying positive, how about the Birds' rookie defenders, Jihaad, Campbell, and Drew Mukuba? Neither made any notable mistakes. That's huge. And in Campbell's case, he had an incredible PBU on this seam route and also helped Byron Young force a game-saving fumble in the red zone. As Brian Baldinger rightly points out here in his film breakdown, Mukuba and Campbell were both excellent in their debuts.
Take a look at a couple plays from the Eagles draft picks right here. Here, Zach Bond is going to come off the edge to blitz, and that leaves Jihaad Campbell in the middle here to make this read. But he's being joined by his second-round pick, Andrew Mukuba, on the outside. Mukuba right here, Quinyon Mitchell misses. Cavante Turpin will make you do it. But there's your first and second round pick holding Kevontae Turpin to a 2-yard gain. And here they are right here. I mean, here you're going to have Mukuba right here and Andrew Campbell. Excellent job right here against Javonte Williams. First of all, by Mukuba, flying upfield right here to set the edge and turning everything back inside. And there's your first-round pick out of Alabama, your second-round pick out of Texas, both making a play together. Mukuba and Campbell. Campbell and Mukuba. Get used to it. They worked in concert together well in both those plays.
And the same goes for second-year cornerback Quinyon Mitchell, who, yes, did get a help on a few drops, thanks CeeDee Lamb, although Q technically had a drop of his own a few plays earlier on this easy interception, but all in all gave up just 4 catches on 9 targets for a pretty crazy 30 yards. Shutting down George Pickens early for basically the entire night, and then in the end, moving over and helping with CeeDee Lamb late. As bad as Adoree Jackson was, my hope for the Bird secondary really is the fact that Cooper Regime was fantastic, Reed was great, and Quinyon Mitchell was incredible. If all 3 of those guys play like they did last night the rest of the season, you can have some bad Adoree Jackson games and still win a ton of football games. Doesn't absolve Adoree Jackson at all, but the fact Q was good last night, that is really, really good news for me. Oh, and can we give a shout out to Jordan Davis for playing the second most snaps on the entire defensive line following JC's ejection, and he was absolutely incredible. Dominating with 6 tackles, 2 pressures, should have been a sack, and a batted pass in TFL. Conditioning, his main problem, was not an issue at all, and once Jalen Carter actually plays alongside him, I think JD proved last night he's going to have his best year as an Eagle by far. Moving on to some other notes here, I will say I thought the refs were pretty terrible in this game. Not really one-sided because there were calls and clear offensive line holds on both sides, plus a literal punch thrown at Jalix Hunt that didn't get called at all, and the ridiculous taunting call on Nolan Smith here because I guess you can't get excited about a huge TFL in the NFL anymore. But I hate complaining about refs, and again, it was rather, fair in terms of the missed calls on both sides. I thought I saw some holds here, saw some holds there. Still, though, the taunting stuff is absolutely ridiculous, and it would not be an Eagles primetime game versus the Dallas Cowboys with fights and ejections and all the craziness, and I thought the refs were pretty mediocre. Finally, when it comes to injuries, no word yet on Ben Van Sumeren's knee as of filming early on Friday morning, but this camera angle here, and I guess really his face after the play, tells me Philly's fullback is likely going to miss a lot of time. Again, I hope I'm wrong. I'll update you guys on my next show, but I think it's going to be pretty bad news for BVS. I'm also not sure about Landon Dickerson, however, because he did get rolled up on and clearly hurt something. I think it was his back late in this game, but he did come off the field and basically did not play in the fourth quarter. I thought Brett Toth was good enough, again, emphasis on enough, but Landon Dickerson being banged up all offseason and then getting maybe even worse on Thursday night is not a good start for the often injured left guard. Overall, I'm pumped they won, starting 1-0 versus starting 0-1. It's easy to say, but a massive difference maker, and I do think they have plenty of good to look back on and could clean up a lot of good stuff as well. We now sit and wait for the Jalen Carter possible suspension. I don't think he'll be suspended. I mentioned that at the start of the show. Give me, guys, your thoughts down below in the comments section, and now just enjoy the fact that Philadelphia can rest up, hopefully get healthier with Landon Dickerson, and maybe beat the Chiefs on the road at Arrowhead next week. Now, in terms of the winner of the Saquon Barkley Jordan Spector art piece, which you can also purchase yourself, I'll link his website down below. Not too expensive, and he has a lot of great pieces. That randomly selected winner on a previous commenting video was Rock082082. So Rock, all details down below on how to contact me. Let me know it's you. Prove it's you. You'll get it shipped out as soon as possible. Watch out for scammers down below in the comments section. And man, it's early here on a Friday. I hope you can see the bags underneath my eyes. Been grinding to get this video out for you guys. I'm pumped. The Eagles are back. They won. A lot to clean up, but hopefully week 2 is going to be even better. I'm Thomas Mott. This has been the Thomas Mott Show.